What's up, everybody? I'm back, and today I have a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Julian, and yeah, I'm happy to finally be doing this with you.
And tell the viewers what do you do on your YouTube channel, and what do you talk about on your YouTube channel, and tell a little bit about the viewers what your channel is.
Well, my YouTube channel is the Men in Tights podcast, and what I do on there primarily, I talk about um, superhero stuff and professional wrestling because to me the two kind of go together, and I also talk a lot about mental health, and I've been trying to get back into talking more about that lately.
And and what does mental health mean to you?
For me, I mean, because I was diagnosed with stuff with mental illnesses actually 10 years ago that I can remember. So the more I learn about it, the more I want to try to help others who are, going through things too.
Yeah, because this pandemic had just been a roller coaster of emotion, and and having people who can really uplift and really uplift and get people to tell their story and just help people around you. I think it can be beneficial
Yeah, I agree.
because these 3 years had just been one hell of a journey in a good way and a bad way.
Yeah, it definitely has.
It had. And what are you planning to explore involving like mental health on your YouTube channel? What do you want people to take away from from the video of talking about mental health?
Well, I try to speak from my own experiences, but then I also try to educate as much as I can about certain things that go along with mental health and mental illnesses, and how it can affect other people in situations. And like I've been doing like trying to do live streams with other people to share their stories and experiences. So with the hope that it can help and inspire others that might be going through their own struggles with mental health, and create the conversation and open a dialogue for people that might be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, like to be honest, it's scary because like it 3 years with everything going on. It's like a lot of people shut down, and a lot of things have closed up. A lot of people are afraid to go out. A lot of people are afraid to do stuff, and and it's been hard, especially for me. I've lost about 4 people in the past 3 years. I've lost my best friend last year, and I still haven't got over that, and and my head has just been crazy, and it's been hard. Like I'm not just speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from everybody's experience that it's been hard, and people have shut down, and they haven't been open with people, and it hasn't been it hasn't been an easy experience to just even complete.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't lost anybody, but I've known others who did lose people, and seeing how it affected them, really uh, kind of spoke to me. Because while I didn't lose people because of what was going on with the pandemic, I did actually lose my mom last year um, to cancer, so I can relate on that level at least.
Yeah, but like with the pandemic, some of the things that made me feel happy during the pandemic, that's talking to people like yourself, and just interacting with people around social media, and trying to get their message forward and tell their story, and how they are and how they are dealing with the pandemic, and also just talking about movies and TV shows and life in general because it helped interact with different people and getting to hear their story and just like interact with people in a way that that we can't interact with people anymore in real life.
Right. Yeah, I mean, social media especially, it's uh, created a good avenue and window for people to be able to talk about stuff like this. And but there's also the toxic side of it that I try to avoid. But yeah,
Like social media can have a big impact or it can have a negative impact. So for the positive impact, it had we open up a side of oh listen, I have all these people who are now I'm trying to reach out to make YouTube videos with, and also me telling my story of being disabled and trying to find an audience for that, and also just having a platform to be myself. Then there's the side where people are negative and talking about the news and just spreading negative things and making the internet a negative place to be.
yeah. I mean, I've tried reaching out to other people too, like like you have, to talk about these kind of things too. Haven't had a lot of success with that, but I'm still trying to pursue as much as I can, because this I feel like this is a conversation that more people should be having, and that more people should be open to having.
Like, to be honest, I've been trying to reach out to people about maybe talking about the disabled community, and a lot of people have said like it's not our place to come on here and talk about it because we'll not disabled. And then I say to myself, you don't have to be disabled to come on the YouTube channel. Then maybe get educated and learn about the how about being disabled, and maybe taking away some of the things. And it's frustrating, when I can't find people to talk about being disabled because they don't feel like it's their place.
Right. Well, I think it's because for a lot of them, when they think of disabled, they think of primarily like physical disabilities, but there's different kinds of disabilities. Like there's mental disabilities, emotional disabilities, and I think that that's why a lot of them might be hesitant to come on here and talk about it, because they might not be aware of the different levels of disabilities that are out there.
Yeah, like I just feel like more people to be open with that conversation because, to be honest, it's needed now more than ever because we need to be educated on that subject. We need to understand that it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to that be yourself. It's okay to love yourself, and it's okay to take breaks from social media. So we need more people to acknowledge that we need to talk about more serious subjects involving mental health and people who are disabled because it's going to reflect on how we on how other people are gonna see us.
Yeah. Um, I think also because they're like, for certain people, there's like I guess a stigma that's attached to mental health and with being disabled, that a lot of people are afraid to touch on that. So you know, by like people like you and I talking about it openly like this, hopefully that can open the doors for others to come in and have that conversation too.
Yeah, and what do you do in your free time that help you stay positive and make you feel happy?
Well, when I'm not working, usually I'm spending time with my brother, or I'm playing video games or watching movies, or maybe reading a book to try to. I don't know if necessarily help keep me happy, but just it keeps me active is probably the better way I can say it.
And how about movies and TV shows? I know that you know you're very passionate about DC Comics. And you know what have made you become a fan of comic book and just being a comic book fan and you know a fellow nerd. How did that help you with you know with your mental health and life?
Well, I mean, I got into superheroes and comic books. Let's see, well, the superhero stuff I was because my father introduced me to the movies with the for like Batman and Superman, and then the comics I got into because of my oldest brother. Um, and then in recent years, as I've learned and and educated myself on my own mental health struggles, I've and I've been able to look at certain movies that I've watched before or that I have watched more recently, and seeing it from a different perspective because of the mental illnesses that I've been diagnosed with, and it's helping me, I guess, to better understand what I have gone through and what I could go through, and I relate it to whatever the characters in these movies and TV shows might be going through.
That into the analogy because like you know superheroes are you know are just like us. They have the weaknesses and they have the strength. So who is your favorite superhero that you looked up to?
Superman was the one I would say I look up to most, but also Spider-Man also is another one that I put like right there with each other.
And have you seen any like good movies or any movie reviews coming up for you or anything involving pop culture on your YouTube channel?
Uh, well, the most recent one that I had seen was the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness was the most recent one that I've seen, as far as the movies at least. Um, and I would like to see the new Thor movie, but depends on how my work schedule is and if I'm even able to go to the movie theater for that. Um, and
And
I haven't reviewed anything in a while. I think the last movie that I reviewed on my channel was probably Spider-Man: No Way Home. If I can remember, I would have to look back and see what else I have on here. But yeah, that was the last movie that I remembered reviewing on my channel.
yeah, and if possible, tell the viewers what do you do because to be honest, you play an important part. Like you told me, you worked at a hospital, if I'm correct, and before you know, you tell us, I want to thank you for you know for being part of helping everybody with the pandemic. Your job it's so important. To tell the viewers what if you want, what do you do?
Well, my title is a certified medical assistant is my official title, and I've been in the field for I would say 6 years now. Technically 7 because it's when I was in school. But yeah, through the pandemic, I was still living in North Carolina at the time, and I was working at a hospital up there in the RDC department. It's a respiratory diagnostic center, is what it's called. And I was helping with like doing the COVID testing, COVID vaccines, doing flu tests and strep tests as well, and trying to help families um, be I guess be better educated on what was going on and what the testing is for and what they can do to help themselves and to like if they're experiencing any of the symptoms, how to treat those symptoms and how to take care of their families if they have children in the house or like if they have a husband or wife that they take care of or an elderly parent or grandparent and just helping them through that since a lot of them even still now a lot of them are not 100% sure of how everything really works with that. So my job was primarily to, in addition to the testing, is to helping them understand what it is that's actually going on.
Yeah, and are you still doing that now, or what are you doing now?
Well, right now, because I've my mental health stuff that I've been struggling with over the past year, I'm actually working at a local like like a local store, like just a few blocks away from where I'm living now, because I was having a lot of, like I said, mental health struggles that was making it difficult for me to continue working in the medical field.
Yeah.
So you know, working where I work now has been helpful for me with that. So for now, at least, I'm working in retail and that's been helpful for me if it's for my mental health.
Yeah, like to be honest, you gotta do you gotta do what you love to do and help yourself, and and that's like be you because you're only one person.
Right.
Yeah, no, but but what do you think? What have you been thinking about? What's going on with DC Comics and all the tainted and all the stuff that we've been hearing for the past few weeks?
Um, it's, Thanks. I love DC Comics and I love the movies. I love the stories and the shows that I've been able to watch and experience in my life. But just the more news that keeps coming out with some of the movies and some of the people involved in the movies, it's just I don't know. It's become a bit of a mess with DC. At least in the film aspect of it, with a lot with like controversy with some of the actors and other people involved with the movies. And while I'm still excited to eventually see these movies, it's just now, and especially since I guess I would say since 2016 with the critical receptions of movies like Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad, that there's such a like a stain on the DC brand that a lot of people are just hesitant to overlook at this point.
Yeah, do you feel like Marvel had a better grip on their company and like what do you want DC to really focus on?
I mean, yeah, I would agree there that Marvel does have a better grasp on their brand and how they're presenting their brand, and that's a lot of it is because of Kevin Feige being the head of all that and having his vision and sticking to it all the way through. Which that's the thing that with DC, that when they had a vision and people weren't responding to it the way they wanted to, they completely diverge in the opposite direction of it, and that's where we get the mess that we're in now with a lot of their movies because there's no coherent plan in place that like there was in the beginning when Zack Snyder had done Man of Steel and then Batman vs Superman, and he had his plans for the Justice League movies, and because Batman vs Superman didn't get the response that Warner Brothers wanted, they went in a different direction, and we see, even though I've liked a lot of the movies that have come out since then, we see the I guess inconsistent direction that they've been in since then. With, I mean, like with the theatrical version that they released in 2017, and with films like Aquaman and then Shazam, then Joker, Wonder Woman 1984, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, and just people just like there's like no story, like consistent storyline in place for that people are into. And while I don't want them to be completely copying the formula that the MCU has established in the last 13, 14 years, I would like them to at least have a consistent vision and pathway with their movies so that it won't be such a mess going forward.
Yes, like with Marvel, they have their TV show. Have you watched any of Marvel TV shows? And do you think that they're beneficial in the viewing experience with the movie, the Marvel?
I would say, yeah, that it's been beneficial for it. mean, because I love the WandaVision, love the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, the What If animated series, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and then now Miss Marvel. And I forget, it was another podcast that I'd listened to where they talked about that having all these shows in addition to the movies is like giving the audience a lot of homework that they need to do.
Yeah,
But I'm okay with that because I love watching all of this, so I don't mind having, I guess, the extra homework to follow the story along. But I enjoy it, and just my personal view of it is, at least for this current phase 4 of the MCU, that I feel like each part of it has had its own identity. Like WandaVision was its own identity, Falcon and Winter Soldier was its own identity, Loki was its own identity, the Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel. All of them have had their own identity and could stand alone if on their own, while even though it's all still a connected story for the long run.
yeah, like with Myth Marvel, getting a little bit of like like a little bit of uh carnival because a lot of people are not watching the show or thinking the show is boring in a way, and some people feel like if they don't have Disney Plus, they can watch the movie and not and that's what the movies. What do you feel about people who tend to watch the Marvel show or get Disney Plus?
I mean, I know for some, they like I said, they don't want that extra homework of having to watch the shows, and they prefer only the movies, which I understand because sometimes you don't have to watch the extra stuff to follow the main story. But sometimes when they'll like reference things in the movies that happen on the shows, it helps to have watched the show to understand the context of it. Like like with like if say like with Miss Marvel, this one is supposed to lead to the next Captain Marvel movie. So like if you miss out on the show and then you see the movie and you don't know who Kamala Khan is and her story, then you're gonna be so confused throughout the whole film.
Yeah, like and also not just with Marvel, but I feel like also Disney has been doing a lot of Star Wars content. Like it's been crazy because for the past few weeks, Mr. Marvel hasn't been getting the attention it deserves because of the Obi-Wan Kenobi. So what do you think about Disney like overlapping Star Wars and Marvel and some of their other stuff and putting them together in one day?
Um, I think maybe they could have spread it apart a little more, like have the finale of Obi-Wan and then start Miss Marvel. But I get it that their plan is because they want it to just be one after the other and keep it going and consistent, so that like when Thor comes out in a few weeks, then that's when like Miss Marvel will should be finished up, I think. So they just want to keep like I guess the momentum going, like where they had the Hawkeye series and then Spider-Man No Way Home, and then they followed up with uh with Moon Knight, and then came Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and then now Miss Marvel after that, and then Thor Love and Thunder is coming out in a few weeks, and I don't know when the next. And then I think She-Hulk
Yeah,
is
She
in
Hulk.
in August. I think I
Yeah,
don't know.
let me see because I know She Hulk. It told. Let me see. But I know that right before She Hulk, we're getting San Francisco Comic Con, and yesterday they just announced that Marvel will be back in Hall 8, so that's gonna be interesting if we're gonna get our first sneak peek of Wakanda Forever.
That'll be interesting to see.
Because that one is a little bit risky because with Tampa Bowman not being with us no more, it's gonna take a lot to really to really pull the fans to really pull the fans in.
Yeah, because he was a big. Obviously, he was the main character of the story, so it's going to be hard for some people who haven't been able to let go of the fact that he's not around anymore to play T'Challa. That it's going to be hard to get those people back in to come see the new movie after this.
So She-Hulk is coming out August 17th. So August gonna be a really big month for the pop culture in general. We're getting She-Hulk. Then we're also getting another Star Wars show, and then we're also getting the Game of Thrones I believe prequel, and then a few weeks later we're getting the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon. So we're gonna be
Yeah,
a really trading month in August for August pop culture stuff.
yeah, and I'm excited to see all of it too. Because I love Star Wars. I mean, you can see the Grogu toy behind me, and I have the Star Wars poster right there too. So yeah, I love Star Wars. So anything to do with Star Wars, I'm all in for it.
Yeah, like it doesn't just be a trading month for pop culture audio because like all the stuff are coming in trading and like the first with the audio will be try and then everything will start coming in all at once.
Um, but what are you most excited to see out of all these movies and shows coming out?
Like to be honest, I watched a lot of stuff, and to be honest, I'm really interested to see the new Lord of the Rings show. I haven't seen the trailer for it, but I'm really interested to know what they're doing with it because I don't believe that we really found out the stuff before the movies, before the event of the movie. So I'm really curious about that, and also I'm really curious about the new Game of Thrones show because I'm a very big fan of Matt Smith, and also I was really disappointed with the finale. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm also really excited to see what San Francisco Comic Con had to offer because every year they bring something new and something exciting. So I'm really excited about that. But look for Thor: Love and Thunder, and for some of the movies coming out this summer, there's really nothing on my list of stuff I really wanted to see.
Right. I mean, I feel kind of the same way too. I mean, Thor would probably be the only one I'd want to go see if I'm able to. Otherwise, for the rest of this year, I don't know what other movies that there would be that I'd want to go see like urgently right well, maybe Halloween Ends because I'm a big fan of the Halloween movies. But if they offer that to be able to see that on Peacock like they did last year, then I'll probably just end up watching it at home instead.
Like to be honest, we about that we haven't done any trailer yet or any information. All we know is that they're doing research soon and that we were supposed to get a trailer for a movie that came out yesterday called Black Phone. I highly recommend you check it out. It's really good. Like I mean really good. Um and they said it's not gonna focus on Michael Myers, it's gonna focus on the boogeyman and Otita. So that's gonna be an interesting concept to see. And I'm just hoping we get a trailer soon because October gonna be right around the corner.
Yeah, I think it comes out October 15th or 16th. I don't remember the exact date. I just know it's mid October that it comes out.
Yeah. Like I'm excited for that as well, but movies in general for this summer, not really. Like I am seeing the new Bud Lightyear movie tomorrow, and I'm excited about that. But mostly, there's not a lot of movies. There's more TV shows than movies that are coming out this summer. That's really surprising.
Well, I mean, I think because yeah, because Disney has such a hold on pop culture and have for such a long time that they dominate the market in that sense. So a lot of what is coming out is from Disney. So you know, so yeah, like the Buzz Lightyear movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I will eventually. And then Thor: Love and Thunder, Star Wars shows coming out this really throughout the rest of the year, and other Marvel stuff, and like other Disney projects that are coming out. Like that they have the Santa Claus spin-off that's supposed to be on Disney Plus also. So yeah, this Disney has such a hold on the entertainment industry that like almost everything out there right now is Disney.
Yeah, and also I'm waiting for the news involving the DC show like Titans and Doom Patrol and all the other shows, but HBO Max hadn't really put out anything too interesting.
Yeah, and I mean I enjoyed when they had a Peacemaker on a few months ago, but other than that, they haven't really had much available like that could really like grab me and keep
Yeah,
me tuned in. Um, but I mean, when the Game of Thrones House of Dragons show comes out, I am gonna watch that because I only recently got into Game of Thrones because of my brother and him and his partner that they're big fans of the show, so they got me into it, and I've spent most of last year watching all the seasons and finally finished up earlier this year, and I loved it. So I'm excited to see this one.
do you think they're gonna drop it all at once, or how do you think they're gonna do it?
I think they're gonna do it like week by week, like they did with Peacemaker and some of the other shows.
Oh, like do you think that people are gonna watch it, or do you think that people are gonna think we don't want nothing to do with Game of Thrones, everything that finale?
I'm sure they'll be the ones who will watch it happily, like me, and then there'll be the ones who will watch it, you know, just to hate on it without knowing anything, and then the others that will just, I guess, in protest, refuse to watch it because of how they felt about the finale. Even though I personally saw no issues with how Game of Thrones ended, I feel like the way everything built up for those 8 seasons, that the way it ended made the most sense, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, and how about are you gonna also watch the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon?
Yes, I'm gonna watch that because I loved the movies, and I even the Hobbit trilogy, while not as great as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I still enjoyed it, even though it's been a while since I really watched those movies. But yeah, I love the movies, especially watching the extended versions that they have on HBO Max. So I'm excited to see the show when it comes out in September.
Like to that's been a little bit interesting because a lot of people when the full trailer came out, a lot of people were a little bit iffy about it.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I've come to expect that from a lot of people that they're just always going to find the things to nitpick at and complain about before they even see what the final product is.
Yeah, like to be honest, I know that a lot of people they have a lot of different opinions, but they do not wait until the final product, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah. And like when it comes to stuff like that, the only issue that I really have is when people try to act like their opinion is indisputable fact, and that if you feel differently than they do, then you're just wrong and your opinion doesn't matter. And I don't agree with that. You know, like the way like whenever I talk about stuff like that, I always say my opinion is my own, and I know people won't agree with it, and that's okay because they have every right to not agree with it. So I try not to force people to believe what I believe in when it comes to that stuff. Like if you can agree with me, great. If you don't, that's fine too, because we all will like what we like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, everybody have their own taste and stuff. Everybody have their own taste, but you know, but what can people expect from your town in the future? Because I know you're doing a YouTube video, I believe on July 9th. Am I correct?
Yeah, as of right now, the live stream that was supposed to happen last night, but had to be rescheduled because of a family emergency. As of right now, it's rescheduled for July 9th, unless something happened with me and with work. Hopefully, nothing will get in the way of that.
What can people expect from that video? Because I know I'm gonna tell it out. What can people expect from that video?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a mental health discussion between me and Chantal that you've had her on your channel before.
Yes.
Um, And so, yeah, we're going to talk about like our experiences with mental health and like mental health, like with relation to like entertainment, like movies, TV shows, and celebrities that are very outspoken about it. So it'll be a fun discussion that we're going to have that day.
It probably will. And thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. It's the name right there. I am Foztu. That's on my Twitter name, and I have a link in my Twitter bio that you can find all my other stuff. You can find my YouTube channel and find where you can get the audio version of a lot of my stuff on as well, and my store that you can buy some fun t-shirt designs that I have and other things, and all my other social media like Instagram, Vero, Snapchat, TikTok that I just recently got on TikTok. So yeah, y'all can check me out on there too.
And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.